Good morning, everyone. I want to thank the grace of heaven and virtue of enlightening masters, mercy of transmitters, and also confidence placed by our senior lecturers and all of you for the opportunity to learn to explain the ninth admonitory sermon by our Heavenly Mother, or the Creator. Johnny, thank you for the summary. This chapter or this sermon, as you read on, you are going to realize that it's actually a distinction in analysis between Tao and different religions, and how all these religions really all stem from the one, the origin, the Tao. Okay, it has a lot of things to cover, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it. There are so many concepts to explain in this sermon too. So I'm going to just read what Lao Mu said and try to explain as much as I could some of the more sophisticated lines. Okay, so this is how it starts. Even when the moon is full and bright as a mirror, it cannot be compared to the brilliance of human beings' true nature. Even the spotless whiteness of the plum blossom in snow cannot match the purity of people's Buddha nature. If we do not allow the tiniest dust of illusion to alight, our true nature will reveal completely. Spotless purity of true nature shines with utmost brilliance. So this is like a preface, and it talks about, again, our Buddha nature, or as it says here, the true nature. Okay, the first line goes like, we know that the moon can be very bright, especially the hunter's moon, right? Is it the hunt? It can be so bright, yet harvest moon. Yeah, sorry.
It's a hunter's.
Yeah, sorry.
There's also hunter's moon. August 15th.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, so it's so bright, right? And sometimes we use the moon to talk about or compare to the brightness of certain things. But remember, the moon itself does not have any light. What it does is it really takes the light from the sun, right? Okay, but our Buddha nature really, it's what? It's bright by itself. And if we have read the Buddha nature material, we know that our Buddha nature has the brightness of hundreds of thousands of suns. So can you imagine how bright it is? And it's in itself so bright. It does not rely on anything to shine on it. Okay, so this is what the first line says. Okay, 明月镜. Okay, the bright moon. 镜 is like a mirror. So the moon actually mirrors the brightness of the sun. And then the purity of our Buddha nature is the second one. It says talks about the plum blossom, the bloom in the depth of winter. The colder it gets, the more likely the plum will bloom. But still, this is like the plum is relying on the external help, external aid to bloom. But our Buddha nature is by itself very pure. Okay, it does not rely on anything else. Does not need any polishing. Doesn't need any we say cleansing. It's itself very pure and bright. Okay, yeah. So this is how marvelous our Buddha nature is. If we really make good use of our Buddha nature, rely on our Buddha nature, then we can say we are we are inconquerable. Okay. Now, if we do not allow the tiniest dust of illusion to alight, it means that in our heart, we don't have any tiny bit of attachments, whether it's the three poison, pride, doubt, or any unwanted qualities, then our Buddha nature will reveal completely. Yeah. So cultivation is about removing all the dusts, all the layers and layers of attachment that's covering up our Buddha nature. The Buddha nature is always there, but it's covered up with all this, our earthy pursuits and our temperaments, human temperaments. Once these are removed, then our Buddha nature will be, as bright as hundreds of sun. Okay. And so once the attachments are removed, then the spotless purity of true nature will shine with utmost brilliance. Okay, and this is why there's always that aura surrounding all these enlightened beings such as Buddha, Guan Yin, Bodhisattva, Jesus Christ. You see that aura. This is not superstition, and this is not something that we make up to show how great they are, because once there's no such attachments, then it's all bright. Now this is the ninth sermon. Okay, so in this ninth precept, my tears, here my tears refers to our Heavenly Mother, or Lao Mu, as Johnny explained. She is the creator of our spirit, of our Buddha nature, or you can also say it's like a personification of the Tao. Okay. Now, Lao Mu said, my teardrop have fallen because I'm really anxious about my children. Okay. Because why is our Heavenly Mother so anxious about us? Because we are very caught up. We are very lost in this, sparkling world. Yeah, we regard this temporary home as our permanent home, and so we do everything to make ourselves comfortable in this world, and we don't even want to leave this world behind. So there may be hundreds of thousands of ways associated with cultivation, but none of them is the right way. What is the right way? So there are many paths of cultivation, as we know throughout the entire sermon. There are so many different religions, many different factions or cults or whatever. But what is the right way? Let's be more interactive. Okay. Actually, the next line says it well. If we receive the Tao and we follow the golden thread, then we can go back to absolute heaven. But if we don't have the opportunity to receive the Tao, and even after we receive the Tao, if we don't cultivate,
or if we deviate from the golden thread.
Yeah, deviate from the golden thread. Okay. Now I'd like to ask you, what is the golden thread? Any volunteer?
Mm-hmm. Carrie, to speak up.
Carrie.
Golden thread is from the Lao Mu,
Mm-hmm.
to the Maitreya, to the holy teachers and transmitters, our predecessors, predecessors, and transmitters, and to lecturers and introducers and characters who brought us to this.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so you can say from Lao Mu, okay, and then the Maitreya Buddha, and then the 18th patriarch and matriarch, and then our grand predecessor, transmitter, and then introducer and guarantor, and then all of us, okay. Yeah, so it means that we have to always recognize who come before us, and we always have to follow the direction of the virtuous predecessors and their teaching. Now, in this last era, which is the white era, hundreds of thousands of new religions were proper. But I'm afraid my children will take the wrong way because of temptations. Okay, because they are different. There are religions to promise, certain benefits, such as supernatural power, or fortune, good luck, wealth, and things like that. And sometimes we got tempted, we got lured, and we we deviate from the proper path, which is the Tao, the heavenly Tao. Okay. Now, Lao Mu said, all the religions were also descended by me, and the purpose of which was to give an advance notice on the last calamities. So actually, all the religions were also descended on us to this world by our heavenly Creator, because it's very hard for us to be to recognize our Buddha nature or to recognize how precious Tao is without all these religious teachings. So the religions really prepare us to receive this something as grand as the heavenly Tao. Okay, and so this is the religions are like prophecies of the Tao for the last calamities. Yeah, remember the last calamities? Any volunteer? 请讲 lecture Thai. Can you explain to people the class?
Last calamity. Well, we're in this white period now. So there's supposed to be 81 major calamities. And then so the last calamity is the wind. The cosmic wind, or whatever calamity, right? So that's like the most fearsome, the fearful one. So that even the spirits are afraid of that because their chi.
Well, it's going to destroy
those
realms, the heavens,
so,
above.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Celestial
spiritual worlds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is going to be so widespread. It's going to affect a lot of people, and that's why the last era is white era, and this is the era of you can say universal propagation of the Tao or universal salvation, so that a lot of good people with good affinity with Buddha and with the Dharma can all go back to the heavenly home. Okay, and Lao Mu also said, I will not descend the great Tao on the earth until the time has come. Remember, we have 3 periods in Tao's transmission. The first period is green period, second one is red period. And in those 2 periods, Tao was transmitted mostly, from 1 to 1. It's a 1-to-1 basis. And it's not because Heavenly Mother was being prejudiced or anything. It just the timing was not right for universal propagation of the Tao. But now this is the time, and we are very happy. We are very fortunate to be born to this era, and we all of us, most of us here, had the blessing to be or the opportunity to receive this precious Tao. Now, let's go. Having seen my children's heart become more and more confused in this secular world, I spread a variety of religion for you to worship or go on a pilgrimage. Okay, yeah. So because it's very important for us to get educated, to have the teaching. So we are spiritually prepared for something as great as the Tao. Personally, I was also very religious. I was like a Buddhist before. And because of my immersion in that kind of environment, going to a temple to worship and to pay respect to Buddhas and saints, that kind of get my foot in this cultivation. We have noticed that it's very hard for an atheist to receive the Tao because they don't believe in such thing as Buddhas or Bodhisattva. A lot of people only believe in we say the physical things. They don't believe in something metaphysical. So this is very important in preparing us to receive this Tao. Now, compared with Tao, these religions do not teach you the ultimate truth, but guide you to do good deeds. In addition, they help people control their deviant thoughts and wait for the great Tao propagation and the last salvation to come. Yeah, so this is why our Heavenly Mother descends the religion to help us first to give us the idea that we all have to do good deeds, to perform merits, and this also is a like accumulation for us, so that we have this opportunity to receive this Tao. When we receive a blessing, we always are told that we are able to receive this Tao because we already have performed some virtuous deeds. We have do some acts of kindness. And also, the religion can also help us control our deviant thoughts. In Buddhism, they talk about the 10 vicious deeds, right? Yeah. So on the opposite is to perform the 10 kindnesses. Okay. So there are three mental kindness. Remember what they are? This is in contrary to the three poisons. So greed, the opposite of the greed is what? Like giving, right? Charity, giving. Yeah. Or the rage is what?
Kindness.
Yeah.
Compassion.
Compassion. Yeah. And then what is that? Shi is what? Ignorance, the opposite of ignorance is what? Wisdom. So that has to do with our mind. And then with our body, as we're going to talk about later, the killing, the stealing, and also improper relationship, or adultery may be too narrow, okay? Improper conducts, okay? But in the social with that is, we have, proper conducts with, also the all kinds of kindness. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, and then it has to do with our mouth. Like we don't eat non-vegetarian food. We don't say anything. We don't lie. We don't gossip. We don't slander people.
Abusive language.
Use abusive languages. Yes, thank you. Okay, let's move forward. Now we all come forward to seek the true master in hope of returning to heavenly home. Okay, who is our true master? Okay, when we want to be very specific, we are talking about our 18th patriarch and matriarch. Okay, or holy teacher, or broadly speaking, it means anyone who have cultivated and who has what? Heaven's mandate to transmit the Tao to us. Okay. Now, if the time has not come yet, I will not disclose the heavenly secret. Okay. So this is really, the sermons from our heavenly Mother reveals a lot of heaven's secrets. So we really need to treasure our Lao Mu's words, and because if we follow, then we'll be on the road to the heavenly home. Now it's the time for last salvation, and time for all religions to turn back to their common origin and unite as one. Yeah. So right, like I said, this chapter is all about the religions, different religions, and how all these religions are derived from the same source, from the same origin. Okay. I, Lao Mu, descend the great Tao to save all sentient beings in the universe. It is called Yi Guan Tao. Okay. So Yi Guan, it can mean from one, then from one is derived many different, you can say dharmas or principles, okay? But all this, only when we hold fast to this one, to this origin, to this source, then it can be applied to almost any situations. If we just use the one, you can say it's the Tao, or it's the truth, or more narrowly speaking, it's our Buddha nature. Okay, if we follow our Buddha nature, then whatever we say, we do, we think will be the right things. So it's like the one Dharma or the one truth permeates or pervades everything in the universe. And so this is the salvation, the last salvation of the three realms. Johnny, what are the three realms?
Three realms
Mm-hmm.
heaven,
Mm-hmm.
earth, and the underworld.
Yes, very good. Yeah. So heaven, always celestial heaven, okay, celestial heaven or temporal heaven, and then it's the human realm, and then the underworld realm. Okay. It's also a path to bring all beings in the world to heaven together. So this is the only path for all of us who has cultivated, who have good affinity, who have received this blessing, the Tao, the precious Tao, to go back to the absolute heaven, to our heavenly home. So and then Lao Mu said, what I, Lao Mu, have said is all true. So we have to really have confidence. We have to believe in what Lao Mu has said, okay? And all of this can be proved, verified, and investigated. If we are in the temple long, if we attend all the classes, you are going to see, proofs or verification, testimony to all this, the Tao and what our Lao Mu or our predecessors, our Qigong living Buddha have said about the Tao. And then Lao Mu continued to talk about the three major religion. Okay, they are Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism. Okay, what Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism have preached is the same truth. Okay, so in China it's the 三教归一 huh? However, what is the origin of the truth? So what is the origin of the truth? Lecture Kai.
What's that?
What is the origin of the truth?
The origin of the truth? It's the one.
The one. Yeah, okay, yeah. Can we say the Tao, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but where does this one start? It's really start from, the Tao, okay? Therefore, if people want to cultivate the Tao, they have to understand from which path they have left their heavenly home. If they do not understand it, how can they find the way back home? Yeah. So if we really want to go back to the absolute heaven, or we want to cultivate the Tao, then we have to know where we came from. Okay, like all of us have our home in this world, okay, our temporary home in this world. And of course we have to know where our home is, so that when we need to go home, we know where to return to, right? This is the same with our permanent home in heaven. So the Dharma descended for this last salvation is the supreme mystery. Okay, it's so magical, so mystic. Okay, a lot of people here can testify to it. This unprecedented, wonderful thing can only be seen in the era of the last calamities. Yeah. As I said earlier, we know earlier that in the previous eras of white, green, and red period, it's very rare. I mean, Tao was only transmitted to very few people, to virtuous people. In the green period, it was transmitted to emperors, and then in the red period, it was transmitted to scholars or someone who are very well learned and very well cultivated. If you still do not believe I, Lao Mu, have additional proof, the truth of one, let us review the guiding principles of the three religions, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism. So here starts the reviewing of the principles of the three major religions. Okay, so originally the truth of one is the truth of 先天. Okay, well, literally speaking, a literary translation is pre-heaven. So it means that something that exists before the creation of this cosmos. Okay, so, I'm sorry?
先天
Okay, 先天. It's before the creation. of this heaven and earth. So we know. I'm not very good at explaining this. It's.
Well, you could probably say it's the Dharmadhatu, right? I mean, so that's the absolute, the original, the original reality, the true reality. Okay, so then from that he created all the heavens and the earth, right? The spiritual realms, the celestial realms, and the material world. But it's the Shenten is before the creation of those.
Physical part.
Yeah, or even the celestial, even before that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You could say it's absolute now.
Yeah, so that's Dharma
Dharmadhatu, or Dharma world. Yeah, Dharmadhatu, Dharma reality. So, in other words, it's the state or realm where there is no duality. All right, no duality. So it's hard to. So that's absolute, right?
Just the oneness. It's one.
Yeah, it's that oneness. It's that. It's 究竟.
Yeah.
You can say 究竟.
And this
In
true.
Buddhism, they call it 究竟. In Taoism, they call it 先天. No, so.
Yeah, so this truth will still exist even after the destruction of this cosmos. It's always there. Okay. So the guiding principle, Confucianism is to pervade one, or to 一贯, right? 一贯. It means what? From this one, then delivers. This one delivers tens of thousands of principles,
Yeah,
right?
everything
And
is from that one.
from that one.
But everything has the one. So this is Hua Yan Jing. Anybody know what Hua Yan Jing is? Avatasaka Sutra. All in one in all. Oh, I'm going to talk about that in the next.
Okay. Yeah, so if we just apply this one, the essence, okay, of the truth, then you can solve almost every problems if we apply this. Of course, this one has some specific details, like the 5 constant virtues and the 8 virtues, the 5 cardinal relationship, and everything that has to do with Confucianism. But it all comes up from that one. Jill.
I just want to mention that this one is not something that you learn from the book. You already had.
Right. Very good. Thank you. And that of Buddhism is to return to one. Okay. It means there are so many sutras, there's so many scriptures, so many principles in Buddhism too, but they all have to return to that one. And this one is not a sutra, or actually it's wordless, right? Like what Sakyamuni Buddha said in the Flower Sermon. It's And Taoism say to maintain one, 纯一, maintain one, hold fast to our Buddha nature. Yeah. And Buddhism states know our true heart and reflect on our true self. 就是要明心性，然后观自在。Okay, to know our true heart. Okay, this is not our human heart, or not even our emotional heart or spiritual heart. It's that the heart that we got from the 先天. And also we have to often reflect on our true self. And so the Confucianism says to nurture the heart, okay, to nurture our true heart. The kindness, compassion, faith, sincerity, things like that. And also overcomes one's internal faults and restore one's true nature. Okay, this is the foundation of Confucian cultivation. And Taoism says cultivate one's heart to conform to one's true nature. Sorry, there's some problem here. Okay, we'll fix that later. Okay, so these are the principles of different religions. And remember, they all talk about the one. Okay, the universal truth. Okay, now here comes all sentient beings' nature is truly void, or you can say empty, yet it's clear, peaceful, and full of wisdom. Okay, so this is the Buddha nature, or human beings' true nature is what we call the 真空妙有. Okay, it doesn't seem to exist, but it's always there. It's just like our breathing. we don't realize we are breathing, right? But we are always breathing. Yeah, because without this Buddha nature, we cannot describe Buddha nature. It's formless. It's indescribable. But without this Buddha nature, we are just like a corpse, right? Corpse. Okay, can we breathe without our Buddha nature? No. Can we see? Can we feel? Can we smell? No. Okay. Yeah. Now, Taoism states that people have to cultivate the Tao and virtue and keep their minds tranquil. Okay. So Taoism is talking about non-motivational, non-motive. Okay. And they also talk about what purity and tranquility or stillness. And all of this up here telling people to cultivate the vitality, qi, and spirit. Okay, this is what we call in Chinese the 精气神. Okay, and actually it corresponds to also our three treasures. Yeah, the vitality has to do with our physical body, and then the qi, which means probably energy, has to do with our heart and mind, and then the last one is shen. It's our true spirit, our true nature. Yeah, but all of this finally have to return to their roots and to restore the true eternal life, means our true nature. Confucianism says, knowing where to rest your heart or mind, then you achieve inner stability or tranquility. Okay, and after achieving inner stability, then you can attain tranquility. Okay, now knowing where to rest our heart and mind means what? We talk about that in Great Learning. So where our heart should be rested is what? So should our heart go out in search of many material things, fame, wealth, reputation, luxury and things like that? Yeah, we should get rid of this. Yeah, so it actually talks about how we should really brighten our virtue, allow our true nature to reveal, and how we should also help others awake to their true nature. Okay, so this is where we should be. This is what we should be pursuing, and this is where our heart should be rested on. And once we know what we are in this world for, we are here to help ourselves and to help others awake to our Buddha nature, then it will follow. Then our heart and mind will not be influenced by external things. Like when we get something, we are happy. When we don't get what we want, then we are very upset. We don't have the roller coaster, right? And so we have the stillness, and with the stillness then comes tranquility. And so our inner wisdom will revealed, and we won't do anything against our conscience. Okay, this is very broad speaking. There's so much more to it. Okay, now Buddhism states the emptiness and nirvana are of the same religion. So that's what we call 观跟观照 and 寂跟照 they are the same. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, truly understanding your vexation, you understand your true nature. Okay, so in Buddhism, they also say vexation is also what? Bodhi. Yeah. Enlightenment. Yeah. Okay. Now, all these methods are teaching people to begin their cultivation by calming down their minds first and gradually refining themselves and finally attaining the ultimate truth of Wuji. Wuji is talking about the absolute realm, the absolute heaven, the extremely void and tranquil. The essence of Buddhist cultivation is to follow Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and to follow the 5 precepts. So this is the three conversion, right? Or Sangui. Okay, so the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, they also correspond to the 3 treasures. Okay, and also to follow the 5 precepts. As you can see on the blackboard, the precepts, right? no killing, right? No killing. No alcohol drinks. No improper conduct. No delusional thoughts or delusion, and then no stealing. Okay. We're going to talk about the 5 elements, which is the Taoism, and then the 5 precepts, which is Buddhism, and then the 5 constant virtues, which is Confucianism. Everything is in there. Okay. So the foundation of Taoist cultivation is to cultivate the physical body, mind, and the self-nature well. So this is also the true nature. So let the chi of the 5 elements to return to the origin, a state of harmony. Okay, and the propriety for Confucian cultivators is to observe the 3 cardinal relationships and practice the 5 virtues. Okay, so this talks about the different practices of the 3 religions. But again, they all talk about the same thing. Okay, that's our true nature, the bright wisdom of our true nature. Okay. Now it is time to disclose the essence of the 3 religions, which originated from the same origin, Tao. Okay, no killing in Buddhism is benevolence in Confucianism, and returning the word qi, okay, to its qi, it means energy, to its origin in Taoism. So in Buddhism it says no killing. In Confucianism it says what? Benevolence. And then in Taoism, this is the what, qi, the wood, okay, to the origin, okay, yeah, as you can see, huh? You can say like the essence, right? The quintessence, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to just use this to talk about, okay. Now these are the 5 direction, the 4 direction, and in the center is what we call the sincerity, or it's also what to the earth. Okay, so sincerity is what we talk about in Confucianism. Being sincere, being faithfulness. What is that? Trust, also trust, and it's represented by earth in the 5 elements, in one of the 5 elements, which is Taoism. And in Buddhism, this is the precept of no delusional thoughts or no lying, things like that, okay? And then to the east, this is east, okay? It's represented by Confucianism as benevolence. And so it corresponds to the no killing in Buddhism, okay? And this is what in the 5 elements of the Taoism, okay? So it's very logical, right? No killing is benevolence. Okay, and then to the right, to the west, this is righteousness in Confucianism, and it's represented by metal in Taoism. And when one is righteous, then we don't steal, right? No stealing here. Now in Chinese, sometimes when we kind of criticize or we condemn someone, we say, "Oh, this person is 不是东西." You see?
Yeah.
So dong is what? Benevolent, represented by benevolence, and shi is righteousness. So when a person has no dong and shi, it means has no benevolence or righteousness. Yeah. Very.
That's cute.
No, that's the China. That's pretty nice, pretty cool.
Right. And then to the north is wisdom, okay? Wisdom represented by water, and it means no what? No alcohol. When one is wise, then he does not indulge in such,
Right.
things, okay? And then to the south is propriety, okay? Li, okay? And it's represented by fire, and it means no improper conducts. So sometimes fire gives rise to many things, right? And so they are very logical. Now in cultivation, before a lot of us are very easy to get irritated. We get upset easily. That's because this is a Taoist concept, right? Because we kind of reverse. Water should be, that should be north. Wisdom should be on the top, right? This is the right direction. But a lot of times we have the water in the in the bottom, right? Water in the south, and fire in the north, and that's why we get upset so easily. We lose temper so easily. So the purpose of the aim of cultivation is to reverse, to get it the right way. Water on the north and fire in the south. Yeah.
That's why when we do the bowing, the kurto, we are supposed to. This is told by transmitted Jin. He says to squeeze your butt when you're bowing, so that air, the chi inside our body can reverse, and then we have to reverse the water to be on the top and the fire to be in the bottom. Okay, that's the purpose of kurto also.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So the head below. So really, when we cut we're very high up, that's not right. It's really the head should be lower, or the front of the body should be lower than like the kidney.
The kidney is
that's
water,
right?
represents water.
So the water.
The heart represents fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Heart represents fire, right? So when you kurto, your head should not be sticking up. Heart
Represents fire.
Heart represents fire. So your heart.
Kidney represents
So
water.
when you're looking at horizontally on a side view, of the person that's doing the bow, the kurto, his heart, his head should be below the
kidney.
So you really have to lower your head.
That's why the distance from the hand to the head is 1.5 fists high. Not too low and not too high. Okay, keep that in mind.
No, so you have to bend your elbow. Some people don't bend their elbow. They're
Yeah,
just
and go
that.
like this. That's not the
They
problem.
just nod their head.
Relax your
That's
elbows.
not really kurto.
That's how we can reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
Back to fire,
Yeah, reverse
and
the flow. Yeah.
the fire will be lower and the water to be on the top.
So that's like lowering your rage.
That's why the more we
Your-
kurto,
your-
the better for our health.
Your
Okay?
emotions and passions.
Yeah, so all the three, thank you so much for your contribution. You said it very well, better than me. Okay, so that's the five chi, the energy, return to the origin in Taoism is to obey the 5 precepts in Buddhism. Okay, no killing, no stealing, no improper conducts. What else? No alcoholic drinks and things like that. And so it's also the 5 constant virtues in Confucianism. Okay. So the 3 major religions were from the same sort of origin and have been preaching the same absolute truth, the Tao. If there should be a second truth, the religion is not correct. So this religion is not correct. If they say there's another, there's like duality, there's 2 different sides, then this is not the right religion, not the true religion, and the road must be devious, and we should not follow. Okay. Now, when Fuxi drew one, a symbol of solar, this is based on translation of one of the books. Actually, he drew one, and he also, we know Fuxi, right? He's the first patriarch of the Dao's lineage. He's the first one in the Dao's lineage, and he's also the one who started the transmission of the Dao in the Green Period. Okay. He also observed the operation, or the phenomenon in the cosmos, and he developed the 8 trigrams.
Well, he really became enlightened by looking at the sky and earth, and he realized, oh, everything's one. But most of us, we look at the sky, we say, oh, whoopee! We look at earth, oh, whoopee! Truly so far away, right? So that's the difference between why he is eligible, he's qualified to be considered the Tao post, right? Tao,
Yeah.
right? The post the heavenly post of the transmission of Tao.
Right. Tianpan.
Technical term.
Right. Okay.
So unless we can do the same thing, then we're not qualified.
And he is the person. He is the master who really initiated the idea, the principle about yin and yang. So the yang, Y-A-N-G, the positive, is represented by one long line, and then the yang, yin, okay, the negative, you can say male and female, is represented by 2 lines,
Two
broken lines.
lines.
Okay. And then this 3 lines together represents what? Heaven. And how about this? You can imagine, right? You can kind of yeah, the So he's really like the author of Book of Change, right? I Ching, the I Ching.
Yeah, he started. I mean, later on, a lot of, even Confucius edited. I mean, Wen Wang, right? Wu Wang, they all edited later. But he's the one who started. Yeah, they kind of expanded. Well, they interpreted.
Yeah.
Well, that's more because he didn't really give much interpretation. He just basically said, "This is it," you know, because they didn't really have language. They didn't have paper back then, right? All they had was whatever.
Oracle.
Is
it
bones, and, you know, whatever, charcoal, you know, to write on. You know, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. So, you know, I mean, but then again, you know, most people back then are more enlightened than we are today. So, you know, there's really no need to blah, 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 talk.
Yeah. So of all the sutras and classics and scriptures, the Book of Change is the most difficult to understand. I do not even dare to touch it. I can only grasp a little from this book and a little from another book, and so from this we can imagine the high wisdom that Fuxi had, right? Yeah. So because remember it says that Fuxi 一化开天. Okay, doesn't mean that he started the heaven or the earth. It means because of this idea of yin and yang, he kind of enlightened people. He awake people to the phenomenon of the cosmos, and I guess he also hinted at Buddha nature, although it was not explicitly stated. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thumbs up. I don't even cover.